right, down here at the bottom of the map, he's named after a Protoss hero. Can he be a hero of the Protoss?
Esposo Tassadar.
Will he be the next Protoss hope?
I think he's a little bit nervous. He looks nervous, and he should be. That's not going to be an easy group. His opponent is starting at the top left in the blue colors. It's the Terran player from FXO. It is
FXO, GuMiho.
That's right. And Antigua Shipyard is a very, very huge map. Obviously, the players know that it is cross-position only, and that gives you the freedom of that you know exactly as a Protoss player when you need to send out that scout so that you will arrive in your opponent's base in time before the walling closes, because you want to be there before for the first Marine actually pops out, so that you are in a position to scout if your opponent is getting gas, if you have to be worried about some kind of barracks pressure, or if Tassadar can just go for an early expansion on his own.
Yep, and by the way, we just saw the predictions for these two guys. 5 and 9% for these guys. That's what you have voted that you think is who you think is going to be the winner. GuMiho
double barracks
has planted down a second barracks. Now this is interesting because Tassadar is going to know this barracks is late, so he might because it's way too late for it to be the first barracks. If he put the second barracks outside of it, and now he's scouted it on the low ground anyway, so he definitely knows what's up.
He knows about the double barracks opening, and Molotov, you're perfectly right. With the timing that GuMiho just spotted, that Tassadar just spotted, he knows fully well that there has to be something going on. That barracks was just way too late, and he spots the second one without a problem at all. And the first Marine is already being built, so Tassadar in his main base now going for the first Zealot. In a situation like that, you can't skip the Zealot. Something that some Protoss players try to do against Terran.
By the way, I did look it up. What he was trying to do slash dance, and he hit the wrong slash, I think, or something like that. Chum is dance in Korean, so there you go. That's Bomber for you. He likes to dance his Marines and drop mules when he's won a game.
He's just a cheery guy. Expansion for GuMiho. He didn't take gas. GuMiho didn't take gas. He just built those two barracks and is getting a little bit aggressive, forcing his opponent to be on his toes because he's not quite aware of how many units GuMiho is going to build. And obviously, GuMiho knew that Tassadar already spotted that barracks, so he knows that his opponent will be able to prepare in time, that any type of Marine attack won't be all that successful.
Yeah, this is interesting, and this is something I've heard of. I haven't actually seen too many games with this so far, but I've heard some other people talking about this as well. This 2 racks into expansion, you try and scare them with the 2 barracks into making them think you're doing a rush, and then you just expand off it. Here's the thing though, Tassadar, he is way onto this. He actually just got an expansion after his first gateway. He's like, he kind of was a little bit cautious, didn't move out too much. He got his Zealot out there in the middle of the map, and once a little bit of time passed and he didn't see an attack coming, he's like, alright, that was just a fake. I'm going to get my Nexus down. And so he's going to be at about the same place as far as his economy goes.
GuMiho is now going for the double gas as well, so we'll see what exactly he's spending that one on. Probably just the usual build that we see from Terran players against Protoss. And he's safe with the first bunker. He's now just trying to claim the middle of the map. Obviously, that Naga Watchtower is a huge thing if you want to have a decent read on your opponent's actions. And adding the double tag lab right now. Or getting the second orbital, getting those mules into the game. Tassadar building a robotics after the first 2 gateways, and that's important obviously. You want to have 1 observer just in case your opponent is going for some kind of shenanigans. Tassadar knows that there has been no gas spent by GuMiho so far, so there could be some kind of delayed Banshees. It's not all that common, but occasionally we see it, and therefore he needs to be prepared against it.
Yeah, definitely. He is getting double upgrades on his 2 tech labs, getting the combat shields and the concussive shells. He's probably going to follow up the concussive shells with stim. And is now actually pushing out a little bit into the map. I don't think this is going to be an attack or anything, though. It's just going to try and put some pressure on the map, try and get some map control. see if there's anything out there that he needs to worry about. And Probe and an SCV are going to mate in the middle of the watchtower.
He's evading the watchtower vision. He is trying to skip past the watchtower without getting noticed at all.
Oh.
He's going
maybe
for a
he's
small
going to go
attack.
for a little bit of attack, actually, yeah.
And Concussive Shell is done. If he catches his opponent unaware, he might be able to do some damage, take down the Stalker too, but he's actually just going for the middle of the map right now.
He's going to go back to the middle of the map.
His mind.
And finds that Probe on the tower, eliminates it. And Robotics Support Bay now going down. He's going to transition into some Colossus tech, similar to what we saw in the last game, actually, with Bomber versus Killer.
Once again, both players are really, really cautious. It's a really tight situation in the group already. I mean, you have a lot of tough opponents, so you need those wins. It's a 6-player group at that, so that's going to be a tough one, and the players are aware of that, so they are really, really playing it safe now, which is a good thing. You don't want to make any mistakes when you have the chance of reaching the next stage.
Yeah, finally a starport going down for GuMiho. And he's going to start getting some higher tech units. And does he actually have... no, Stim is about a third complete, so he's working on that. So basically GuMiho and Tassadar, for that matter, just like last game, content to just kind of sit back until they have what they think they need to actually do a proper battle. They don't want to go out prematurely. Now, GuMiho's starport is going to be really late here. He's finally just getting that starport up. So he's going to have a lot of bio that he's been building up this entire game. But it means he's going to be short on air units with only the one starport. Even if he puts a reactor on it, he's going to be trying to get medevacs out, and then he's going to try and get Vikings out. So he's probably going to get 2 medevacs and then transition to Vikings, and he's going to not have very much healing power with his army, is my point.
We have a Reaper.
Huh. Just a single Reaper?
I would really like to see if he's going for 1 Reaper to scout, or if he's going for a couple of Reapers in order to try to put some pressure and kill some probes. That's something that he might have misclicked, because he just finished the the Ghost Academy. He's now going for Ghost. I'm not sure if that Reaper, if he built that Reaper intentionally, but I remember a time when players like UXG tried to build a bunch of Reapers in the mid-game to harass their opponent's economy, and that worked out quite well.
I've seen that on occasion, a bunch in the mid-game, but not a single Reaper in the mid-game usually.
I think he cancelled it. I think he even cancelled the Reaper before it finished, so you definitely misclicked and wanted to go for
never mind then. Don't have to worry about the Reaper after all. Scans and takes out that Observer, and it's going to clear out the space here, or this area rather, where there would be a base. Tassadar has not felt secure enough to take a third base. Neither is GuMiho, for that matter. I'm surprised he hasn't even built a command center in his main to float over there.
The thing is, as long as they are on 2 bases, there's not a lot that GuMiho can do. Tassadar is aware of potential drop play, so he is just scouting the perimeter of his base, and on 2 base against 2 base, there's not a lot of stuff going to happen unless one of them is willing to leave his base and to start attacking his opponent.
Yeah, and he saw those stalkers there waiting for that drop. Oh, okay, never mind. There he does have an extra command center he's already built. My bad on that one. And now he's starting to push out and trying to take control of that third base location. Tassadar just building up those Colossus. He's got 3 or 4 now, or 2 or 3 perhaps. And getting Blink as well, getting some upgrades on, I believe, just 1 Forge.
Third base being built now for Tassadar as well, so he wants to counter the expansion of his opponent, and the factory is going to block that one. Just in time, no! Not able to land the factory. Close call though.
Fail, factory, you fail.
Third base is ready for GuMiho. He's a little bit faster when it comes down to his third base. 137 supply against 130. In regards to the harvest accounts, they are about even, which puts the Terran player slightly ahead in terms of mineral mining, thanks to those mules. And he has the Ghosts as well. Vikings being built in order to counter the Colossi of his opponent. Blink research for Tassadar. Players just taking it easy right now. Sitting tight. Getting the tech, getting the army, getting everything they need in order to decide that game in their favor. They want to win the first match in this round, and they really, really need that win. It's tense. It's certainly a tense group.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the last game how it just came down to a single battle, and whoever won that battle decisively, in this case Bomber, was able to take the game as a result. Now, this game is getting a little bit later on than that game did, so, you know, one battle might not end it, but that's why they want to be extra sure that they have everything they need in that big battle. So if they lose it, you know, that could be the game. We've got a couple of ghosts in the mix. I like that he's adding those ghosts in there.
And GuMiho right now has a problem when it comes down to he doesn't have the armory yet, but it's about to finish, so he can start +2/+2. He's on 1/1 upgrades, and we see charge and +2 attack upgraded for Tassadar. So no real upgrade advantage. And if you go for a Colossi heavy army, then you want to upgrade the attack upgrades first, and Tassadar already has 5 of them. He's getting a 6 Colossi, and the damage output will be insane, but he has to keep them alive.
Oh,
and the Stalkers are out of position.
Oh, he's getting free hits on the Colossus. One goes down without a fight. A second one is going to go down as well. He's down to just 3. He's going to get a third without taking any shots from those Colossus. A single Colossus actually engages in battle, and it only gets a few volleys off the massive bio army of GuMiho without any Colossus to back them up. Can now stomp down with furious anger upon the army of Tassadar, and that may just be game, and that is just going to show you how important it is to have your Stalkers in the right place at the right time. GG coming from Tassadar, and GuMiho has taken his first match. Wow, that was some ridiculous Colossus sniping right there.
Well, the problem was not the Colossus sniping. The problem was that Tassadar made a huge mistake when it came down to his Stalker management. The Stalkers were all in his main base trying to intercept any drop play, so he didn't have any anti-air whatsoever with his army.
Yeah.
And when GuMiho realized there are no Stalkers whatsoever, there's nothing that can attack my Vikings, he just went in, sniped all the Colossi. As soon as the first Colossi died and Stalkers arrived, he went in with the army, and from that point on, the game was over.
Yeah, and Stalkers couldn't even go over to where the Colossus were because GuMiho's army was in the way. It was in the middle. It couldn't get over there.
Yeah, 5 of the Stalkers just tried to get up that ramp, and immediately at that point of time, GuMiho just went in with the stim, flanked the Stalkers, killed them, and he lost every single Colossi. He had 6 Colossi in the beginning, and he lost 5 of them without doing any damage at all. He just tried to run away, and from that point on, there was no way he could deal with the Bio Ball.
Yeah, he ran his Colossus back away from his Stalkers too. He didn't run into his natural. He ran up into his third, which made them even farther away, made them even more vulnerable, and just was not a good position to fight in at all. So GuMiho's going to go ahead and take his first game. We now have 3 winners and 3 losers in this group of 6 players. Of course, only 2 of them can actually make it to Codes from this group. So the first blood has been drawn. And so far, Maro, Bomber, and GuMiho have taken games. And we have Killer, Tassadar, and Ryung have lost their games. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll have some more action. We're going to get into deciding who's going to get into Codes. Just a few.